When we talk about electric vehicles, lithium gets all the headlines. But inside every battery, there is a hidden hero: graphite.
By weight, there is more graphite in your EV battery than lithium.
Without it, the green revolution stops cold.
Let's look at the element most people ignore.
Not all graphite is created equal. There are two main types, natural and synthetic. Natural graphite is mined from the ground, primarily in China, Brazil, and Mozambique.
Synthetic graphite is manufactured from petroleum coke using extreme heat. Both have their pros and cons, but the industry needs both to survive. Next, let's see why your phone and car literally can't work without it. Inside a lithium-ion battery, lithium ions move between two sides: the cathode and the anode. Graphite is the anode. Its unique crystal structure acts like a parking garage for lithium ions.
When you charge, ions nestle into the graphite layers. When you drive, they release. No graphite, no storage. But where does it all come from?
If you compare weight, graphite is the heavyweight champion. A typical Tesla Model S contains about 70 kilograms of graphite.
That's nearly double the amount of lithium.
Despite this, lithium prices get all the investor attention.
It's time to rebalance our perspective on what makes an EV move.
Natural graphite starts in massive open-pit mines. It's categorized into three forms: flake, amorphous, and vein.
Flake graphite is the most valuable for batteries. Countries like China and Mozambique lead the world.
But mining comes with environmental costs that we are only starting to quantify. If mining is too dirty, can we just make it? Synthetic graphite is created from petroleum coke.
It's more consistent and purer than natural graphite.
But there's a catch. The process is incredibly energy-intensive. It's an industrial marathon. Who controls this technology?
Mines are found everywhere, but processing is not.
One country currently dominates the graphite refining world.
This creates a bottleneck that worries every Western carmaker.
If the tap is turned off, EV production across the globe could grind to a halt in weeks.
This is the new oil. Let's look at China's long-term strategy. China didn't become the graphite king by accident.
Decades of investment in both mining and processing created a vertically integrated giant.
From the pits in Heilongjiang to the high-tech refineries, they control nearly the entire value chain. In 2023, new export controls signaled that this dominance is now a diplomatic tool. The rest of the world is scrambling to react. Can they catch up? Scramble for self-reliance. The US and Europe are pouring billions into domestic graphite projects. From mines in Alabama and Canada to processing plants in Norway. The goal is clear: break the reliance on a single source. But building a supply chain from scratch takes years, not months. The race against time has begun. What about the planet?
Mining isn't clean. Extracting natural graphite involves blasting and crushing,
and using toxic chemicals like hydrofluoric acid for purification. This can lead to dust pollution and water contamination in nearby communities. As demand surges, the challenge is to make the process sustainable. Greener batteries shouldn't come with a black legacy. Next, the energy cost of synthetic. Synthetic graphite might avoid some mining issues, but it has its own carbon problem. Heating petroleum coke to 3,000 degrees for weeks requires massive amounts of electricity.
If that power comes from coal, the green battery isn't so green. Balancing purity with power consumption is the industry's biggest puzzle. Now, let's look at the numbers. How much will we need by 2040? The IEA's projections are staggering. Under stated policies, graphite demand is set to double by 2040. If we push for net zero, that demand could triple or more. We are moving from a world built on fossil fuels to one built on minerals. Graphite is the foundation of that move. But what about the prices? When one country controls the tap, prices can swing wildly. In recent years, graphite prices have been a roller coaster, driven by supply chain hiccups and geopolitics. For battery makers, this uncertainty is a nightmare.
Stable pricing is the fuel needed to scale up. But what if we replace graphite?
The reign of graphite might be challenged by silicon. Silicon anodes can hold 10 times more energy than graphite. But silicon has a problem. It expands and breaks when it charges.
Scientists are now mixing silicon and graphite to get the best of both worlds.
The anode is evolving. But what about solid-state batteries? Solid-state batteries are the holy grail. They replace the liquid electrolyte with a solid. In some designs, this could eliminate graphite entirely in favor of lithium metal anodes. However, mass production is still a decade away. For the foreseeable future, graphite remains the king of the pack. But can we recycle it? Lithium and cobalt get recycled. But what about graphite? It's much harder. The economic incentive to recycle graphite has been low. But as supply tightens, new technologies are emerging to recover graphite. The circular economy is the final frontier.
Graphite isn't just for batteries, it builds our cities too.
Before EVs, graphite was already a giant. It's essential for steel production in electric arc furnaces.
And as a lubricant in heavy machinery, it can withstand heat that would melt most metals.
This dual demand is what makes the supply squeeze so dangerous. Governments are noticing. Strategic reserves are being built. Graphite is now a matter of national security. Countries are adding it to critical mineral lists, providing subsidies for mining and building strategic stockpiles.
This is about energy independence and defense.
The map of global power is being redrawn. What lies ahead? As we look to the future, the graphite gap is real.
We need more mines, cleaner processing, and smarter recycling.
Innovation in synthetic graphite and silicon anodes will bridge the gap. The next decade of battery competition will be won or lost at the anode.
This is the race of our lifetime. Let's recap what we've learned.
Graphite is the silent giant of the battery world. It makes EVs possible, fuels our heavy industry, and sits at the center of a new geopolitical map. While lithium gets the fame, graphite does the heavy lifting. To build a sustainable future, we must understand the materials beneath our feet.
Documentary created with AIStorystudio.com. Like and subscribe for more.